Do it. Don't you do it. Do not jump to the middle of this video. Don't do it. I don't want to hear what game is this and all that. You need to listen because this is really important, very cool, and I'm really passionate about this game and many others like it, and it's going to be big. Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome to a demo of a game by the name of Foundation. And I know you may have already seen Foundation a lot on the channel, but it's actually releasing. This game is coming out at the end of January in 2025. And I couldn't be more excited. This game is really on par and looks amazing, by the way, well, compared to what it used to look like. On the right is what it used to look like, and now it looks absolutely gorgeous and is on par with games that we love here on the channel, well, by the name of, for example, Foundation, a game by the name of Manor Lords, a game by the name of Ostrave. Yeah, a very open city builder, a game without grids and without road building, where you get to build the roads by, like what you see here, people walking to and from your town, and an incredible amount of custom castle building and more. This game is going to be big. Now, for those of you who already played Foundation, apparently, from what I've heard, this demo is essentially a demo of the 1.0 version. So this is really our first look at the 1.0 version before gaining access to it, and something that is much more advanced than what we've seen before in the early access stuff. Like, there's much more here than ever before. A game where, of course, we can build our own manor, our own castle, our own monasteries, our own cathedrals, our own churches. Yes, you can have a military. Yes, you can invade foreign lands. There's defenses you can build, and so much more, including livestock and farming and weather events. And yeah, this is crazy. Now, a lot of people will take one look at this and, shoo it away, and that's unfortunate because I think this game has a lot of features that Manor Lords absolutely needs to have, and same with games like Ostrave 2 and another game by the name of Farthest Frontier. It's really I wouldn't call it a holy trinity because there's more than just, 3 or 4 or 5 games out there. Many, many more. But look at this. We have ourselves a map maker in this game. That's cool. Also, they're going to allow you to select mods. So this game immediately will tell you, hey, pick your mods. Hey, pick your map. Select your rules, your aspiration, and then describe your village. We'll get to that in just a second, but I love this. Games need to absolutely have this. I mean, seriously, why can't we get a map editor for a game like this? I think there should be a map editor for this, but a random generator is even better. Farthest Frontier has this, and also Foundation has this, but really we need to have we need City Skylines to have this, and Workers and Resources all need to have these randomized map makers, which are really cool. I mean, you literally just pick whatever you want. Here I think we're going to go with, if we can get to maybe having ourselves like a shoreline. This might not actually allow us to do that, but we're going to go ahead and let's build a couple of big old mountains, a little less on the hillside. Let's go with maybe a maximum on this, and then we'll minimize on the lakes just a little bit. And let's roll that seed a little bit, that beautiful bean footage. Let's go with something. I want more of a coastline, but this is perfect right here. A couple of lakes and a village that we can build right there. Let's go with that. Excellent. Now, of course, you can basically roll all day, and that's something that I wish Manor Lords would allow us to do too, where you can randomly roll the supplies and where they are. We're going to leave everything here because some of these things may not be modified in the demo. Some of these things can be modified, though. And I do believe this is the type of game that, I may be wrong on this, but I believe we can have, well, people move in, of course, but also people will start families, I believe, from what I can recall. That might not be the same, but there's going to be different game modes here, too, which will be a challenge mode, a casual mode, and a creative mode. So if you don't want to worry about supplies and just want to build stuff, you can do that as well. Going on to our next setting, this is something we absolutely needed for our city, and something that I think that they've kind of gotten the idea from Manor Lords from as well, and I'd love to see that. So we can be a lord or a lady, and I guess today we'll just go as a lord. I wonder if we have to pick a last name as well. Lord Raptor? Let's go ahead and see if we can pick our village name, and we'll just go with the good old Raptoria as always. We can pick an upper shield, a lower shield. That looks good to me. Let's go with maybe a cross here, or maybe let's go with something like that. Perfect. We'll go with the white on the top, blue on the bottom. Let's go with a animal. If we have a bear, we'll go with it. You guys need to add the bear. Oh, we can also choose composite. Is that a bear? Oh, I literally think that's a bear. Let's go with red, because if you see it, you're dead on the bear. That seems perfect to me. Excellent. Within seconds, we had that locked in. Beautiful. Guys, again, remember, this demo is available on Steam, and the developers have confirmed, as you saw there on the first screen, that this will be available past the release of the game. And for those of you wanting to try out, well, Foundation 1.0 before it comes out, this may be the closest we get to that. Let's take a look around. A new beginning. After a long journey throughout the realm, your people finally reach new lands, your lands. Territories you can settle for reasons of your own. Your villagers await your command and are eager to offer advice about how to proceed, yes. should you require it. Sorry, I'm super excited. Okay, there's a lot of cool stuff here on how we're going to build our city. A lot of cool stuff on how we're going to play the game and tutorial-wise. But I'm just going to rush through with the basics because, you know, a lot of city builders are... This is breathtaking. Holy crap. Wait a minute. That is insane. Wow. The cloud cover, you can see clouds moving through the trees. There's actually a lot of different size trees, some dead wood. This is great. They've been grinding like crazy on this game. It's made some big improvements over the years, but this is just insane. Wow. Yes, we have to buy territory as well. Now, this game then allows us to do what you can already do in Manor Lords, and this was a thing from day one where you can then purchase land, and to expand you have to then buy that land and then also pay a tax on it too. So the larger your city is, the more you'd better make profits out of that land, otherwise the king's going to be a little mad. I do want a coastal map in this game too, and more rivers, but I think we're okay with what we've got. Of course we can fish and stuff too, and we also want to settle where there are berries. So I think every location here is where we can find some initial food. You can see them right here, and then also maybe things like trees and more. I think we're going to go ahead and settle somewhere over here where we saw before, maybe build our way out to that lake if we can. This might be a good spot to build too, but somewhere flat and somewhere more round would be good. Long is okay, but we want something round and flat. You can also see the size of the map here, and that's a pretty hefty area to build. Wow, look at all those trees out there. That's crazy, and the skybox looks really good too. They've kind of really expanded the world a little bit beyond what we see here. This will be area for us to do mining, so it might be a good idea to keep those close by, and areas where we could build a manor or a missionary or something up there would be cool too. Ourselves like a little mission would be up there really looking cool. Maybe we'll start down by the water. Actually, it'd be nice to build a manor up there too. Let's go here. That seems perfect. All right. So we have our usual, you know, coins and trade. We have, of course, an option to set down, as they're going to plop down there, our starting area for our village. We can see here our population, happiness, and then people who are unemployed. And then also we have kind of a world map, a little bit more of a kind of line of sight of what we got here. We can even build this way too if we want to. It's kind of nice. All right, well, let's plop down our village center, and we'll plop that down right about here. And it'll come with some fine folks too. We can rotate if we want to. I think eventually this gets deleted, or we can move this somehow. Interacting with the world. Cool. So there's our peeps. I think these people used to not have faces or something, or they used to not blink. That's what it was, yeah. I don't think anybody's going to blink. We'll see. Don't blink. There's too much action going on, so let's see what they do. All right, they kind of wander around a little bit. Advice, organizing work. The second piece of advice comes from a young, enterprising villager. Rather than letting everyone fend for themselves, she suggests that you organize laborers into appropriate workplaces. Builders into workshops, woodcutters into lumber camps, berry gatherers into their huts, and so on. All right, let's put that into action. Now, I think this is also a game where we will eventually unlock goals for our city, like, for example, building like a bunch of great works where we can have people sculpting marble. I think we can also go for military campaigns. Later on, we can choose goals, and that'll kind of be the aspiration. Now, there is an end game here to those goals, but of course, this is also a city builder, so even though there's goals, the real goal is to just have a good time and build a city as big as you want. Looks like we've also got some starting resources of berries, cloth, wood, and tools there, so that'll go into building all the things for our people, and then also keeping them alive. All right, we can put down a builder's workshop too. So let's plop that maybe over here. Rotate and move if we want to. Plop that near the city center. Good idea. And we shall build. All right, excellent. Now we can also plop down... Oh, we can assign workers to that too. So they'll show us exactly how to do that. And we do that exactly like this. Now, I believe the longer that somebody's in a job too, they'll become more skilled at that job. So a lot of the time, the first people you'll see become really skilled in your town will be loggers and people building. So your builders and your loggers will become among some of the most skilled in your city. We'll go ahead and assign 3 builders for now. There we go. And they'll be just fine for now. We could also rename our building, I think. Yeah. So if you want to call it like Logging Camp East or West or something like that, you could do that too. All right, all done. Now onto our lumber camp. Ooh, that looks different. Nice. Go ahead and clop some trees down. I'm going to clop, chop, chop. Now, just like in Manor Lords, you do want to clear a forest in order to build stuff there. So oftentimes your biggest village is not necessarily built until after you've cut down a ton of trees. There are forestry buildings here and other ways to process wood like a sawmill. Love the look of this building. That looks great. Excellent. So they're going to get to work building over there too. So that's done. I think as soon as it's complete, we'll get more options as well. And I think we'll get maybe a stonemason next. The flowers look pretty good. I do like the fact that we've got some actual wildflowers and different types of grass here too. That looks really good. I like that. Doesn't look like a kind of a mowed carpet. It actually has a decent appearance to it. Alright, let's get some people cutting down some trees too. And I think the next thing they'll tell us is how exactly to, do some painting. So we'll be able to actually paint an area, and if we want to, we can have them avoid certain trees. So if we want to keep trees in the village or along a road that we want to build, then we can go ahead and tell them, hey, don't cut down these certain trees, or also forbidden for people to walk into a certain area. So if your people, for whatever reason, start walking up the side of the cliff, and you're like, wait, I don't want them to do that, I want them to walk up a road, you can make it that way. Very cool stuff. Let's go ahead and chop down as much trees as we can near the shoreline, and we'll keep some trees in the back. There are some berries there too. We'll go ahead and kind of make this look nice. I believe you can also right-click to delete, and you can also hold Control to make it a lot bigger too. That might help some of you to make a very nice-looking area. We'll go ahead and do like a 3D printing job here. And I'm going to paint all of that to start with, and then I'm just going to go ahead and cut off the top there and leave that like that. Perfect. That looks a little nicer. Beautiful. And then we don't need that there. Alright, looks pretty good. I like it. Now we'll have to do the next thing with berries. I believe that's the next thing we can do. A gathering hut, yeah. So we can go ahead and plop that over here if we want to. And eventually the trees will be cut down. And I try not to delete as many trees as possible, because we do want the loggers to cut all that down. And there they go. Right to work and bringing those logs back. You can assign whoever you want into these buildings. You can just pick them at random, or, you know, like assign somebody who might live in a house nearby. Those types of things are important later on. We're also going to need a forester camp. They can replant trees, and so I guess we'll build that now and kind of take advantage of it a little bit later. There's also different trees we can plant in this game too, so, you know, I got a lot of knowledge here. As you saw in the menu, I was just basically closing the first time setup menus and be like, nah, I don't need to know any of that. And I think this allows us to plant different trees like fir trees or pine trees, or I forget if they divide it by biome or whatnot. But a lot of the biomes are also this too. There is a tremendous amount of maps that are possible, but they'll always look like this. They will always look like green grass, rolling hills or mountains, and lots of like fir trees and other pine trees like that. It'll always kind of look like this. And you can already see where they're making roads by walking. So you'll be able to kind of forbid people from walking areas that you don't want to. And then eventually I think we could build fences and stuff there to make it look nice. Alright, what's our current goal? Produce berries, right. So we'll need the builders to finish the berry building. Yep. And then I believe we can designate which berries they can go to too. I think it might be per building. So if you have 2 berry deposits in the same starting area, like we do right over here, we'll start with 1, but we can eventually expand over there. Now, berries will run out, but they will regrow, so they kind of have a slow respawn rate. So what you could do is have everybody pick these berries first, and when they're empty, you can delete that zone, then tell them to go over here, and almost like doing crop rotation, that kind of thing. I love this. The buildings look very much like they did before, but they also look very fresh and new. The developers did a good job of keeping the original theme, but not making too many changes to it. Like, for example, this camp used to just be a fire, but now they've kind of made a log storage area and added some cool stuff to the table. Look at that. They've added like a couple of mugs and a bowl. See the big old nails on the table too. Very nice. Game is very chill. Very chill indeed. Now, this is only our first look at the demo for the 1.0 version, so a lot of things are subject to change upon its release. Like, for example, how the game looks, and maybe some more music and things will be added. So I'm really excited to see what they come up with eventually. Oh, it's nice. Cozy. Alright, so that building will leave unemployed for now. That's our forestry building to replant the trees. But this building is done. Our little berry hut. Very important that we get as many berries as possible. But we'll start with 1, because I believe we'll need to unlock the granary next, if that's possible. As soon as we pick 10 berries, that'll probably be possible. Go ahead and add a few more people. I believe they also get different outfits based on the job, too. So the berry pickers will get these little hats. Loggers kind of look like the same. There they go. They have a little backpack on the back, too. The loggers look the same as pretty much anybody in the town, I believe. Be kind of cool if they changed them, though. But, of course, they get an axe, and those axes are provided for free as well as a lot of the equipment. So, hats and backpacks and things like that, or whatever, will be provided for free. Kind of cool. You see that builder sitting up against that pole? That was cool. Just sitting there right next to the pole. I love it. Okay, can we paint an area for harvesting? Wait a minute. Oh, we can also paint with a square, too. Oh, nice. Okay. Oh, maybe we can't paint an area. Edit building, locate building. Alright, I guess that's a little different. Now, some buildings we can edit, too, after you build, like, for example, your church. You can eventually add on to it. You can add, like, a different bell tower, or you can do that with the tavern, where you can add, like, another floor to it. So, pretty neat to be able to make changes to buildings after they're done. And they can still function. So if you need a bigger church, no need to make a new one. You just build a new church. Needs and happiness. Now that you have organized your laborers, you can tend to their needs and happiness. Make sure that they have access to fresh water and housing. For food, you'll first need people to store and distribute the berries they've collected. Yeah, we'll need a granary then. From there, your village will have everything needed to welcome the first wave of immigrants. All right, let's put it in practice. And painting and housing. So now we'll be able to build houses. So we can paint that area, and these people will build their own homes. So pretty cool. Looks like no granary yet, and no storage building yet either. So we'll start residential, and we'll build that kind of around the center of town. We'll go ahead and make some approvals here. And here too. Villager needs. Okay, so they're going to need, looks like water, rustic food, and housing. So people who move in will need to have those things met. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure they don't build over there. Actually, we can build over there now. And that's exactly why we wanted to cut so close to the town to make room. Now, I wonder, in the 1.0 version, if the house building is still a little weird like it was before, where people are usually pretty picky. They need a lot of space to build their home. But it looks like they've kind of nerfed that a little bit, where people will actually kind of stay in any open area. Love that. Dobre. Opravdu dobre. I love it. Very nice. Go ahead and make our thing a little smaller here. Isn't that cool? Alright, good. So now we can build some homes there. Looks like houses are being built. And these will be built with thatch, and homes are upgradable, so they will look nice at their tier 2, tier 3. And I love this, man. This is just, it really feels like playing Manor Lords. But this game was here first, remember. And I think a lot of development of Manor Lords was inspired by this, and same with Austria. Even Austria inspired. You know, they have all inspired each other, guaranteed. And that's totally fine with me, because they're kind of more based on history and a little bit more accurate to how things maybe were at the time. Oh, look at that. We can only have a limit of 500 coin. Interesting. Well, they're probably going to need a well now. Well. Let's go ahead and plop that down. Maybe over here. We'll also need some marketplaces, too. And we'll put this kind of close to center of town. Perfect. Boom. Housing insufficient. They're going to have to build that themselves. Did that actually build that? Did that little shovel cancel that? Or is it showing that? Oh, maybe I had to click boom down here. Boom. Oh, it did. I thought the little shovel at the top would build it, but I guess not. Okay, we have a stonecutter camp too. We can build that, but we'll get to it later. There's stone there, obviously. We have a little room to build. Keep that pretty close. Excellent. Oh man, the town's coming together quick. And now we've got a third home being built. Excellent. Berries being gathered and brought back to town. We'll need a way to distribute this, so we will need to build a marketplace. And the marketplaces are very cool. We can customize them and decorate them and put down things like fencing and, you know, like barrels and extra decorations to really make it look a lot more authentic. So the decor is, I think it actually might add something to happiness too. If there's enough decoration, people will be quite happy. Now, to make sure nobody gets crazy, I'm going to go ahead and tell them not to move up the mountain. Let's go ahead and start basically creating barriers so people can't do anything crazy. They probably won't. They'll be well behaved, I'm sure. Right? But we'll see. Anyway, I just like to do this as kind of a foolproof plan to make sure nobody gets all weird on me now. And we can make that look nicer later. But for now, that's okay. Just don't want anybody walking up the side of a mountain. I also think there's an option to turn off this yellow highlight if you'd like. And when we get to a certain size... The game, I think, used to do things in a hexagon shape. And now I'm not sure how it's calculated, but it seems to look pretty good. I don't see any fish here. There's some fish, actually. So we will be able to do fishing here, too. And that's something we can do rather early. People will take boats and go out and do fishing here. So it's a pretty good way to get food. And I believe there's also different conditions, too, where if it rains, I believe fishing becomes more popular. Or there are more fish, but then maybe the crops are, like, flooded. So it has different benefits. Both good and bad things will happen based on that. Very cool. All right, happiness is at 13% and going up. It'll only go up as people get more things that they need. So the food will be delivered. Housing is being built. Refined food, that'll be a little bit later. And then water. They've just got to build that little well. Oh, now look at this. So now you can see where people will be able to walk around the neighborhood. And we probably don't want them walking on the beach anymore. So let's go ahead and tell them, you know, hey, don't walk out here. Oh, I guess they won't walk on the beach. Well, it kind of looked like they were trying to. Oh, wrong button. I actually wanted to... let's go ahead and not cut down some of these trees here. And we'll go ahead and cut this off a little bit more. And we'll keep some of those trees for our people. Just a couple. Let's make sure that it kind of creates a nice little area now. Maybe near the beach. With a couple of trees nearby. And we'll also leave that little grove of trees there. And up here too. There we go. We want it to just look nice. And that clearing there, we can build a second village there. So now we want people to not walk in certain areas. So you all stay out of here, please. And we want them to maybe take this road here. Right. So most traffic will come through the town. And you'll see, hopefully, people walking through these fenced areas. I believe if people stop working or walking somewhere, that the grass will grow back. And that'll look real nice. This really looks incredible. Miles ahead of what it was before. This game also has a ton of mods, too. So the modding community, very active here, making good stuff. Oh, this looks nice. People walking back and forth. Wait a minute. We have somebody standing around here. Okay, we could probably get rid of the builders. Let's have the, let me go ahead and remove these people from work here. And try to find some other jobs, too. Building is not as critical now. Things are getting built pretty quickly. We want to focus, I think, a little bit more on... Yeah, I want to focus a little bit more on stone. So materials are a little bit more important for some of our builds. In other words, the thing that takes the longest in this game, as it had long ago, is building of monuments and building of any structure really takes a long time with the materials having to be delivered. So first they have to be sometimes gathered, then refined, then stored, then delivered. So if we were building like a large castle up here, all the people would have to gather all this wood and stone in the town, refine it into planks and blocks, then carry all of that repeatedly all the way up here, over and over and over again. So you can imagine it could take hundreds of years, not really, but a very long time in the game in order to build a massive settlement. Now, one thing I'm remembering about progression, too, is this game allows us to have different classes of people, and then also we can choose different paths to go down and things to unlock first or a second or third. So there's a lot of different ways to be able to progress in the game. So there's quite a bit we can do in order to unlock particular skills, and we could even find blueprints out in the world by like going on a military campaign for the king, and other things like that are all possible too. All right, still waiting on the well to get what it needs. We're waiting for the stone miners to finish up their job. So we're having a few more people do stone mining, and that's good. I think we're okay on food, so let's go ahead and get a few more people off food gathering and bring them on over to the stone mine. Because we absolutely want to get more material and then get it stored as quickly as possible. And the same with the logging camp too, doing a good job there. Oh, and actually there's a maximum storage of 50, so we're about halfway. That's good. I'm glad that we don't have to immediately store stuff, and that the building that has a large amount of material coming through has a large amount of storage. It's seemingly the same here too at the stone cutters camp, but a total of 50 could be stored there. So that's pretty good. Now, I believe the resources here are possibly finite, but I can't see how many are there. But again, I do recall from before we were able to send out the bailiff or a geologist to go and find out what's here so we can make advanced, I think, stone mines and marble mines and iron mines and other things around the map. Some of them look like that too. Insufficient housing. All right, let's clear out some more room. Go ahead and not build there. And the well is getting put up too. The music at the beginning of this game is so perfect because the game at the very beginning is very, I wouldn't say slow, but of course you're just starting, so there's not too much going on from the workers, but you're certainly doing a lot, thinking about future planning of where you're going to put stuff, and then making sure everything's working right, then on-assigning, reassigning workers to where it might be a better opportune place for them to work or live. And we have another house going in. Excellent. And happiness going up further from 13 now up to 20. Can only go up now. Can only go up. And the well's almost complete too. Our builder there working on that. Excellent. And don't be afraid in this game to shift people around. Tell someone who might be logging to then go work at the, maybe the builder's camp and then have builders work over at the stone mining camp. That could certainly be something that's quite helpful. All right, multi-part building. There we go. Now, this is a feature that blew me away of this game at the very beginning. This is something that eventually came to City Skylines in a way with updating with modules. But we need more games exactly like Foundation to allow us to build buildings our own way, modularly, and lot-wise too. I'll kind of show you what I mean. Now, this is better explained with the church that we're about to build, but as you can see here with the market, we can actually put that down. Oh yeah, nice little house being built there. We can put that down by building a little market stall like here, and this will be perfect for berries. We can also decorate these stalls too, and we can color code them by having one marked as like a different color for clothing, another one for food, different types of food too, luxury food like maybe wine and cheese, and that'll be quite nice. We'll start with one for now, and I think that this also maybe needed a different material there. What was that exactly? Logs and cloth, that's what it was. The other one takes cloth, yeah. And I think we did start, yeah, we do start with some cloth, so we'll need to be able to import more later. But we do have 50 berries, 20 cloth, 36 wood, 8 stone, and 36 tools. So a lot of things that we do see in many other games. Man, this town's really coming together. Very nice. Population at 10. Wow, we're only like month 1, week 3, 4 days. So in about a week, or well, in about almost a month, they've made a really nice camp here. Now, one thing I did hear is that, you know, you'll be able to continue the demo past the initial, you know, release date of the game, but I'm not sure if we can take these villages and then import them from the demo to the full game. That's something we'll kind of have to find out on our own, so hopefully we're able to do that hopefully soon. I don't know if that's the case, but it would be cool. Hey, a couple of immigrants moving in. Welcome aboard, everybody. Now, to get them into your city, you just got to click on them to accept them, and then they'll kind of just start getting to work and moving in and building a house and whatever else they need to do. So, yeah, now we got some people to work there. But what we can do is get them to work here at this warehouse when it's done. My opinion in this game, or my advice, would be to always have a few people unemployed in your city at all times. So that way, any construction project that's completed, that's an industry building, you can put them to work to, like on that project right away. You want to put them to work as quickly as possible. Quickly now, quickly. These trees are kind of annoying. I'm going to go ahead and have them cut down. I don't like that they're in the sand. They must go. Perfect. And everything else looks okay, I guess. Alright, all done there. Now, what's our next goal? Build a warehouse. Okay, we're working on that. And assign planks to the warehouse. Now, that's interesting. I think we need to build a sawmill for that, unless they've changed that. Get one more person to work at the building workshop. And then, what are we doing on food? 55, holding pretty steadily. One person unemployed. High immigration, because we're making a lot of meeting a lot of different needs, so that's good. And trees we've still got plenty of. Very cool. Deforestation is definitely a problem in these games too, so definitely make sure that you're keeping an eye on your forests. And it's always a good idea to clear out the forests first, but just make sure you're thinking about adding an area for a permanent Like a cycle for all of your trees to be growing again. I think we can have multiple food types at a market too. I don't think we need to. I think it might be 3. So you could do berries, fish, and like maybe bread or something like that. We'll have to see eventually. All right, let's speed up time again since we're building the warehouse. Let them finish that. And let's forbid people from going around this way. And just make sure you don't accidentally forbid the people moving to areas in which you need to mine resources. So here, you know, we don't want our people walking through there, but we definitely want them using the stone boulders there to cut. It won't work if we kind of lead them wrong. There we go. I could spend lots of time fixing all that. That's cool. And then maybe we'll put like a little fishing dock down here eventually. Something like that. Oh, we need planks now. I was right. We do need planks. Let's see what we got unlocked. Ah, there we go. The sawmill. Perfect. All right. And people won't want to live next to this too, so you do want to keep it a little further away from the town. It's not really something everybody wants to live near. So we'll plop that down further this way. And unfortunately, we do have to get rid of some trees. We don't want to be too far from town. But we don't want to be in the middle either. More immigrants coming through. So that sawmill will make the planks for us. And these folks can go work there. Excellent. Now, as you'd imagine, a bottleneck in a game like Farthest Frontier, Austrive, Manor Lords, Foundations, it's all basically determined on the people coming into the town. You can't really build a bigger town if people won't move in, because you can build all these different services and all these different industries, but without anybody working there, nothing really gets done. So you definitely need to keep that happiness up, and definitely want it higher than 75%. And housing here is getting a little more strangled. We'll go ahead and have our people also cut down trees over here. Definitely want to cut that down. And we may even employ some of them there to clear out that forest as quickly as possible. It'll just look nicer that way. Lumber camp, maybe right next to it. Yeah, that looks fine with me. Alright, cool. So a good idea, yeah, you can definitely double down on the sawmills right at the start and the timber camps, and then eventually store all that stuff in your warehouse and have people work on a different industry, so that's all well and good. And we do have our builders working pretty quickly too. I oftentimes in this game pretty much feel like I always play on the 3rd speed. It's always a good idea to go to the higher speeds. So very cool to see all that be done a lot quicker than that. Alright, we need planks. Is there a way to just... I guess this menu closes every time. Okay. Planks will be done soon, and then our warehouse will be done soon, and then we can also continue to cut down trees over here. And anybody else who's moving in unemployed can start working over there, and we can also start building some homes here. Okay. Oh, good. They cut down that tree that annoyed me. Excellent. Good. Good. Also reminds me of painting districts a little bit in City Skylines. Pretty fun to do that. Having everything snapped together. Alright, have we delivered planks? Yes, we have. 2 out of 15 delivered there now. And people cutting down trees and bringing them over as quickly as possible to be turned into planks. Prosperity 3. No unemployment. Happiness going down a little bit. That'll continue to fluctuate as we're really squeezed up against the wall here. And we built some homes here. Yep. Yeah, that's the hardest thing in this game is seeing these houses built up here into the hills. That's why I was trying to maybe hopefully go for an area like this. This is really what you want if you're trying to build a residential home area. You know, like you want a bunch of homes in your village. Homes are really good on like hills like these. Anything more and they're kind of a little tough. This is a little too steep, but we're in a pinch and we can remove that later and ask people to move. So that's totally fine. Storage here full. All right, 50 out of 50. Let's go ahead and get everybody off this job. And we'll put them back onto logging over here. Food seems to be holding pretty good at 50. And I believe because their storage is full, the builders can still come and pick up stuff for them. I think I'll add one more person here. And just make sure we get more berries than what we need. Happiness going back up to 75. So absolutely this is a game you're going to be playing on a higher speed. Especially at the start. Really true. Okay, planks to a warehouse. Oh, assign planks to a warehouse. So once we build this with planks, then we're going to start storing planks here too. Those are some big old planks. That's crazy how big those planks are. And I want people to walk a little closer to the... in the forest there, so don't come down here, please. And we want them to kind of walk maybe this way. There we go. And we've done it. We have finished the storage building. So now I think what we'll do is ask a couple people to work here. Don't need logs as much. Cool. Mm, 52 berries, certainly holding well. And then we need to store these planks too, and that was what, 15? Assign planks to a warehouse. No, it's not a number, it's just assign. We can have cloth, wood, planks, stone, and tools. We're going to go with planks. And it can store 4 different types of resources. That's cool. Opening the Royal Book. Oh, let's do it. There's our Royal Book, our progression tab, and our village map now. Oh, look at that. I aspire to relax and play on my own. Yeah, nothing, I guess, in the demo version, maybe 1.0, will have us come up with goals. Edicts and privileges are unavailable in the demo, but that will allow us to do things like have people fast or different, you know, basically policies for our city to help growth or other things like that. Now, they did mention Northbury. So Northbury will require 20 planks, so that's how we'll get in contact with them. And then we can see from them we can buy tools and wax, cloth, candles, berries, barrels, a berry brew, and then also honey. And to them we can sell cheese, gold ore, polished stone, gold bars, planks, meat. We also have wine and herbs that can be sold to them. Then we have Davenport and Kingstone, Castle Harbor, Trotbury, and Middle. And these all, of course, have different things that they'll buy and sell. Some of them are the same, but maybe there are different options for them. And then we can also see our resources, village inventory and purchase and sales, a list of villagers, a list of our buildings, budget, and logs. Where's all the wood coming from? No, of course, it's all the information on our town over time. So pretty helpful there. And, yeah. So now we're going to unlock that trade route then. We have 19 on planks. We needed 20. We just need one more to be brought to storage. And then we'll be aight. So I think our transporters will do that then. People who work at the actual warehouse will bring that over. And there we are at 21. Perfect. Guess we had to refresh. There we go. Excellent. So then it looks like we'll be able to build different levels on this. And that might increase the volume of trade and how maybe frequently we trade too. Yeah, there's a lot of information there on how that'll work. So that's kind of cool. Love that. Allow sale of planks from the trade route in the resource tab. Okay, so we're going to find planks here. There it is. And then we can sell everything above a certain value. So we'll keep some for ourselves. Let's keep maybe, I think we could type in a number. Let's keep 50, which sounds pretty high, but maybe they'll have us do something different. They might ask us to sell 5 or something. We'll see. This could end maybe the tutorial for now. I would like to do fishing too, if we can. And then there's village fences, which are decoration. So we may as well just unlock that too. And we want more people moving in, so let's do our fishing hut. Part of the building needs to be in the water. Note to the devs, it might be a good idea for the player to be able to see where to put that with the vision of like all the forbidden stuff, so that way they can put that down, maybe. Okay, the manor house. What? Manor lord? We're going to become a manor lord. You make great strides recently. A lighthearted woman recognizes your progress. Thanks you for behalf of her folks for your hard work. To help manage the village and enact new mandates, she suggests building a manor house and a great hall. Oh. Now we can buy more territory too, and we have 1 free to buy. So I guess maybe we can build that over there. But we already know where we're building our manor. First monument. Oh, look at this. All right, this is outstanding. So to build monuments, yes, this is all custom building, and this is really, really, really what sets this game apart. And Manor Lords has some similar system too, where you can build your manor house and then add on to it like the defense tower and other towers around the wall that you build too. So in this case, we got this going. Got this going on, baby. All right, where is our monument? There it is. Oh, never mind. The village fence. That's the wall. Oh, new building parts for the market. We can put down signs and a lot of cool other stuff too. Okay. And territory as well. Alright. Oh, and also you could sell territory too if you accidentally bought something you didn't want. Then there's influence in this game. So we have labor, kingdom, and clergy. So you can either please the people, please the king, or please the church. And that'll all give different bonuses that unlock differently too. So a nice thing to keep in mind. Okay, acquire a manor house in the progression menu. Yes. Oh, there's where it went. Ah, there you go. So now you see the different tech trees we've got. See that? Awesome. So we can build a manor. We can build a castle. We can build a church or a monastery. Then we can go down to a modest one and larger churches too. Crazy cool. More stuff coming soon with release. Looks like we can build more stuff for our castle. We can build bows and swords, and we can even build decorative stuff for the town. More on our marketplaces and more basic stuff too, like glassworking, dairy farming. So something, the common path, basically every town might need that stuff or could benefit from it. But basically there's your people, your kingdom, and your clergy. If you want to please them, then you'll get kind of points for each of them. Now, did I unlock that manor house? Did I get all carried away now? There we go, cool. And I believe this also allows us to promote citizens to different classes, and then they may work harder. There's bonuses for making people different than commoners. Alright, there's our great hall. Oh, this is outstanding. So look at all the building options here. We got little towers. We've got chimneys that we can add onto things. We've got the boudoir, vestibule, and lots of different cool things to add onto it. Very nice. We're going to build something simple, but definitely know that you can build something incredibly complex and add on to it later too. Quite nice. Large manor entrance. We could do that. Let's go with the small. The small one actually kind of looks nicer. Let's add a chimney. And I believe there's ways to turn off snap too. So if you don't want to have snap on, you can turn that off. We got weather vanes. We got passageways. You can rotate that too. Also the visitor location where visitors can come from, or where they'll wait for you. So if a visitor comes and it says you have a new visitor, this is where they'll wait. They, I believe, ride on horseback, so that's pretty neat. You can add a little tower here to the side maybe, or separate. You don't have to have it connected. You can make it a little tower, move the chimney to the other side, snap that over there. Totally fine with me. And then I believe we can add walls and things later. We got a stable fence. Oh, there's that passageway. How do we rotate this now? Not so snappy. There we go. Oh, looks like we can even paint that too. Oh, look at that. That's nice. Go with kind of a darker color. Yeah, that's nice. Or you can paint everything differently. Let's go with that then. That's good enough for now. And I believe later on we could build a wall and other additional stuff. They also want us to store tools, so that could be delivered by our laborers. And these folks, okay, now I'm remembering. I believe the builders will haul stuff up there, and these guys too? They must, because otherwise I don't think the well would have been able to be built unless the builders could bring stuff up there, so we'll see. Anyway, that's why we kept so many planks too. So now they've already, oh, look at that, 64 planks are needed here. So they've already brought up 30 out of 64 planks, 15 out of 27 of the stone, and then 12 tools will need to be brought up here too, to which we have 34. And yeah, housing is still inefficient, or insufficient. Let's go ahead and ask people to build over here now. You guys can finally build some homes here. And that's good, and then we'll go ahead and ask them to not build there, actually, because there's few berries, just a few. Alright, good. Ooh, I do believe our people can walk through land that's not claimed by us, but they won't be able to build there. So we can't build, and they can't build any houses there, but people will be able to walk through there, I'm fairly certain. So that's good. Any more immigrants? Not at the moment. Immigration is high, though. And no unemployment. Okay. Well, we kind of want more unemployment, though. That means we can assign people right away to a job. Perfect. Exactly what we were hoping for. Excellent. Let's get a couple people immediately on delivery. And what are we short on now? Fish, that'll be a thing. We certainly could use another lumber mill. That does take a while. Planks are certainly, I think, 1-to-1, where for every sawmill you have, might be a good idea to have another building on top of that to process that. Let's go ahead and build a fishing hut, too. That could have an impact on happiness with variety of food. Part of the building must be in water. Maybe like that. That might be it. There we go. We'll build that over here a little bit. I don't know how I feel about that big old log out in the water, but looks like we were able to get rid of it. Alright, then we'll have another resource for the town to eat. Upkeep 1, so we're building -1, so we'll need tax dollars coming in. And it does look like maybe a house is getting constructed. Oh, yeah, right there. There's one. So, as we've done video series over a crazy amount of time for foundation, this is one thing that does take forever, is the building of any monument. This is just a manor house, but could you imagine if we were building a monastery? That could take a multitude of, like, multiple game sessions. It will take a long time. And this is what Manor Lords needs, man. Manor Lords needs more systems like this to custom build stuff. Just like the manor, there's also a castle planner in there. And Austrive needs this, too. You, of course, can build kind of like an industrial area in Austrive where you put a fence around it and then build a couple, likewise buildings together, like a smithy and maybe like a charcoal burner and stuff like that. So just keep that all in mind. Now, let's see. Oh, that looks great. Look at that. That's awesome. Wow, they've really made improvements to that. The floor being put down in sections, tools laying around, and things kind of being done piece by piece. Now, in Austrive and Manor Lords, you can kind of see them put in piece by piece. This is, yeah, kind of done in phases where they're kind of a fictional image like an anno, you know, where they kind of show different stages as a picture. But still, much better than just showing like scaffolding coming out of the ground. That's not that bad, but, you know, it's alright. Alright, looks like a lot of our industries are full here. We will need people for fishing, actually, so let's have partially under construction. Oh, look at that. They've added some nice decor to that. And paint, too. I hope they can get up here, yeah. So, the ladder needs to be out in the water, from what I understand. You can build a, the ramp there that touches the ground, and then the ladder here should be where the person climbs down and gets into the boat and then goes out to where we've seen some fish out there before. So that's a good thing to keep in mind. Immigration is now average 3 homeless, but they are building their homes. And you can see exactly where they're walking to get home. Annoys me. And I don't want to see people walking out here. Come on, don't go out here. There we go. Just make sure they stay off the beach. Okay, and it's kind of cool to see paths going through the forest anyway. And I do believe when we get more and more immigrants, you can see where they're arriving on the map, and there you go. They'll make a path too, so check that out. You can see where people are arriving, and then walking down to the lake, and then walking around the lake. Ooh, is that a trader? Look at this. A lot of the people in this game remind me of how people looked like in Shrek. Alright, well the manor is almost done, just a little bit more to go. You can see them having some framework down here on that little extension. And, well, pretty much they're ready. Just a builder needs to come over here. Things are done in little sections where different amounts of material are needed between each building section. So you can almost use a building while it's still kind of under construction. Here it allows us to set mandates already. So we do things to like promote villagers to a higher status, or discuss a levy with the villagers too. So, yeah, not bad. Let's see, bailiff, emissary, the courtier as well. Alright, let's see. Let's just say it has to be done. They don't look too happy about it. Well, it's alright. That's fine. 72 coins gained. Excellent. Alright, so yeah, unfortunately they're going to be a little upset about that, down to 40 happiness. But that's okay. That's a good way to get cash if and when you need it. And just shows that that's a good way to also, expand your territory. And that might give you access to new resources that could make the people happy too. Alright, refer to the get help thing at the lower left. New building available. We can now build the church the same way. And we can take pictures of things too. Nice. They know the game is so beautiful that they let you do that. Incredible. Good. Oh, and advice followed too. Yeah. Kind of a little bit of a guided tutorial. So, not bad. That's a brief overview of the game, really. But, of course, there's a lot more to it. And that is all for Foundation. Looking pretty damn good, and I'm excited for the 1.0 release. So, I may live stream this one, the demo, a little bit before the 1.0 release, but I think for the most part I want to leave everything else a surprise and discover it on my own when it comes out on January 31st. We might get a little early access too, so make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that like button if you love yourself some very free, open, like city builders. Like, there's a lot of not limitations in this game, so pretty good. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.